breaking knee. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, where we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Osweiler's Texans going up against Newton's Panthers. So with that, let's get you out to the stadium. Standing by tonight are our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Larry, Charles and I, we have brought our talents to South Beach, or at least in the neighborhood of South Beach, as we are in beautiful Miami, Florida. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers. Benjamin, the man in motion left. On first down, Newton. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
To throw on second down is Newton. He hits Stewart in the flat. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Greg Olsen was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Stewart. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And the numbers down a bit from their Super Bowl year this season for Jonathan Stewart. Did have some injuries. He finished with 824 yards. 9 touchdowns, though. Good in that department.
When it's around the goal line, he's a terrific runner because he knows how to get there, and he can run through contact, run through trash, as we like to say. That's part of the reason he accumulates the injuries that he does, because he runs it.
It's caught inside the 25.
I think I have to take a second here and talk about Greg Olsen, the tight end for the Carolina Panthers. 3rd straight year over 1,000 yards in receptions. And guess what? That's the first time that's ever happened in NFL history. 3 straight years by a tight end.
That's really something. Now 31 years of age. They're going to need him next year to turn it around because a very looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down. And here's a look at the starting offense. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Now Osweiler underneath for Miller. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
On second down, here's Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And some room to roam now. He got 29 yards that time.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space, the big guys leading the way.
From the red zone now, here's Osweiler on first down. He's got Fuller. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Texans have taken the early lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. It looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. Newton looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but he was led a little bit too far. Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question. On 4th down, the Panthers hand things over to the veteran Andy Lee to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Texans take possession. And now out comes Houston. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touch. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, Osweiler. And his throw's going to be incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now Osweiler. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Here's Ginn. Well, it wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Rolling to his right. Benjamin with it over the middle.
Kelvin Benjamin bounced back from an ACL injury in 2015 to really good health in 2016 and had a 100-plus yard game early in the season, so it looked like he was all the way back. But Brandon, the rest of the year, never broke 100 yards again.
That is hard to believe. He had a stretch late in the season. He went 18 yards, 11 yards, 20 yards. That's just not what you expect from him and the Panthers.
Not at all. I don't think it's all his fault, but they're going to be looking for another breakout season from him next year. No surprise there, Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. And we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Throwing on third down, Newton. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do.
Now the ball's out. Osweiler lost it, and it's picked up by the. And he takes it into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery and a touchdown for the Panthers. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They come up in an offset eye. They begin with a run by Miller. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Houston first down.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, The defensive line guy's trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost, but this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Well, you mind if we go off topic for a second?
No, let's go.
I like to do that randomly. AFC playoff contenders for this year that didn't make it last season. Who do you have that might get in?
Well, I think Cincinnati's got to be considered there. Maybe they'd have an offseason that's calm, and they go into this.
And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And onto the field here come the Panthers. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The catch made by Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Shift together here from the D-line. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. And the back goes into motion. On first down, Osweiler. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Brandon, if I told you in preseason that DeAndre Hopkins would have less than 1,000 receiving yards, would you have looked at me funny?
I would have. He's coming off a 1,500-yard season, and he's gotten better each and every year through the first 3.
And they have weapons around him now. Will Fuller can stretch the field. Braxton Miller, when they get him back healthy, he can fly as well. They got Lamar Miller as a running back in free agency. They've got people who can stretch things open and get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins in open field, but he had a connection that wasn't very good with his quarterbacks this season.
And by the way, Charles, touchdown production dropped big time too. 11 last season, 4 this year. They come up in an offset eye. 2nd and 10. It's Osweiler again. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans have retaken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. Carolina getting set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a first down throw for Newton. And this one complete right side to Funchess. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Newton to throw. Going up top. Looking middle, and it's in. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They come out here in the eye. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
Osweiler now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Now Osweiler on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Miller, the lone setback. Osweiler, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9. Throwing, Osweiler. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles. And it's picked up by the Panthers. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. To throw is Newton. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quentin Demps. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come out here in the eye. Now they send a man in motion right. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Back now in Miami. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. From the 4, it's second and goal. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. So now third and goal. Will the defense bring some extra pressure here? And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller taking it in from a yard out. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now it's Novak on. He'll send this one away following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Buying time to his left. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it'll be a Carolina first. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down, even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Second and 10. Newton again. And that's incomplete. The intended target that time, Brenton Burson. And it'll bring up third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a third time. Picked off by Quentin Demps.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They come out here in the eye. A first down carry now for Miller. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On third down, Osweiler setting up the screen for Miller. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Carolina getting set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
It's brought in right side by Ginn. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Here's Newton now on second down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it again with Miller. And an alley to run. And he powers his way up past the 30. The Panthers are going to take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. Miller, the lone setback. In motion is Fedorowicz. Now it's Osweiler. And finding Fedorowicz. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The D can only stop it 1 more time as they take the knee. Well, as always, partner, an extreme pleasure to